Yeah, man, greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Highly I, Selassie I the First, Jah Rastafari. Yeah, man, I give thanks for everyone that's watching right now, and for those of you who's watching for the first time, allow I to introduce myself. My name is PJ, and you're watching episode number 4 of Reasoning with the Rastapreneur. It is a weekly web series where I'm sharing my knowledge, skills, experience, my testimony on my journey to be a Rastapreneur. A Rastapreneur is someone with a peaceful, positive, loving mindset that believes in building their own business more than they believe in building someone else's. So with that being said, the same as every episode, this week's episode is named after a Bob Marley song. So this week's Bob Marley song is Small Acts, and we're talking about social media marketing. So why we called it Small Acts is because if you think of social media marketing in those terms of being a small axe that's trying to knock down the big tree, and you take the words of Bob's song, which are, if you are the big tree, we are the small axe, sharpened to cut you down, ready to cut you down. Get it? So if you think of you as a social media marketing or your social media marketing campaign in those terms as being a small axe, it's like you understand that you won't knock down the big tree with one hit. It's gonna take numerous chopping, one chop at a time before you knock down that big tree. And that's really what it takes. It takes you being relevant, consistent, patience, persistent. Persistence and patience kind of go hand in hand. I look at persistence as you putting in the work. That's like no matter what, I'm not putting in the work based on somebody's accolade. I'm not putting in the work based on results. I'm just putting in the work. So, again, if you look at your social media marketing in that way, it's like I'm going to be consistent, patient, and persistent. I'm going to be consistent, patient, and persistent. Chop, chop, chop. Before you know it, you'll knock down that big tree. And when we're talking about the big tree, we're talking about in terms of business. Hopefully the big tree for you is your business being more successful to a level where you can take care of yourself and take care of your family, and then maybe even expand to where you can employ people to help them take care of themselves and take care of their families. How do you do that? Again, by being that small axe that's being consistent, patient, and persistent. So, really, let's start with what is social media marketing? Well, I like to say that social media marketing, in my opinion, is just the 2016 name for online marketing or internet marketing. It's just we use these social sites that allow us to place media content on them that allows us to promote our brands. And so I think hence that's where the name social media marketing came into play. But if you look at it, it's just online marketing, internet marketing, because it's taking place on the internet. And so we're in this day and age where all the content is basically it's digital. We come from an analog stage where it was reels, and I was born in '79, so my age and people older than me would know what I'm talking about, probably with the digital and the analog, but the younger age will know about the digital. But so saying, we're in this digital age, right? How can you use social media marketing to knock down that big tree for you, right? Well, the formula to me is simple. Not easy, but simple. As simple as saying I'm going to produce good quality content that tells a story about my brand, or tell a story about, really, I would say, 3 interests that are within my brand. So it's like I would look and say, what is my brand? What does it represent? And let me pick 3 things that people are generally interested in that field. So just take an example. Just say I was a fashion, because that seems to kind of be the most popular thing. My post would be about fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, right? You know what fashion posts are. Beauty posts would be about like hair tips and makeup tips, things along that line, and lifestyle would just, living the lifestyle that you feel like is for you. Most people would say that's the luxurious lifestyle, and I hate to see everybody goes in that direction where you could be different. It's actually just being yourself. So whatever lifestyle resonates to you, you know what I mean? And it don't have to be luxurious. I guarantee you, if you keep putting out content based on that lifestyle, you will find a community that kind of draws to you. So let me get back to what we were saying. It's like we want to produce good quality content that tells a story, right? But we want to make sure this content is in every media format. We want to make sure it's in written form. We want to make sure it's in image form. We want to make sure it's in sound form. We want to make sure it's in video form, of course. Video form because we want to be able to post on YouTube. YouTube, of course, you already know you can make money from the digital monetization of it, but it's getting even bigger now to where you build your audience. You can have your own, just say like your own NBC, your own BET, your own network by you having an audience, and then you get brands that actually want to promote on there in addition to the ads that YouTube is already running. So, again, produce high quality storytelling content. Make sure it's in every media format. And then we want to spread that content across every social site according to the format that social site accepts, that media. Because if you think about it, when you used to have to market on radio, your media format was different for radio than it was for TV, and different from TV than it was for magazine, and different for a billboard, But all of those media sources are included in social media marketing now. Again, as I said, the written form, the image form, the sound form, audio form, and the video form. And so it's just getting familiar, and that's where you have to be persistent with putting in the work. I mean, really, none of it comes without the work and being patient. Again, you don't start from zero and go to 100,000 just like that unless you buying them, and then that's really not serving you any purpose because there's a people that not necessarily interested in what you're buying. So you rather build organically. How you build organically, I'm telling you. Now, that's the formula. Relevancy, consistency, patience, and persistence. But to talk about some of the social sites, it's like make sure you got content for Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, as we already talked about, LinkedIn, Google Plus, Medium is something that people not using. You can write articles on there. Anchor is the audio Twitter. Like, honestly, most people are not up on it, but it's an opportunity for you to take advantage of it there. Tumblr. Then use Snapchat and Musically. Like, use Snapchat and even you got Instagram stories. Like, of course, you want to document your day and share that with your fans. That's really kind of what it was made for. But don't be afraid to take a picture where it's actually telling about your brand or telling them to click the link in your bio. Just whatever way that you can use those social media, those social sites to post media content that will help to bring a brand awareness and increase your sales. Ultimately, whether you're sending them to a .com or you're sending them to the YouTube, as I said. And Musically, I talked about it a little bit, but I mean, it's like, it's really wide open because it's a fun way to connect with, I would say, junior high to beginning high school, like freshmen and sophomore kids. And I mean, if you really think about it, they're pushing the economy because they're the ones that's going to push their parents to say that I want this, And so, again, be the small acts. Just continue to produce relevant content, produce it on all media formats and spread it around, and keep the message of saying I'm going to be consistent, patient, and persistent, and I guarantee you'll be like Bob and knock down the big tree. I did actually get a couple DMs and someone was talking about that I'm a Rasta man and I never talk about spirituality. So the next episode is actually going to talk about that. I talked enough about my business experience. Now I want to talk about my spiritual experience. So that being said, I hope you stay tuned. Leave comments, leave DMs. The Rastapreneur on all the social sites. Peace, love, and unity, everybody. Rastafari.